Welcome guys and gals to a tutorial on Sethbling's Parkour 1000 map challenge. I just saw a comment the other day that was talking about how this is a great map but there's no checkpoints. And I've figured out a way to do it, but not as simple as the way that I had suggested. Uh, but the first thing you need to do is go into creative mode, obviously, and go into here and break some of the bedrock so that you can access the circuitry to this map. Now, I actually applaud Sethbling and how small the circuitry for this was. Seeing as how big this platform was, I thought this was going to be an immense amount of redstone circuitry in here. But it turns out it's just simple mechanical timer setting the scoreboards. And then over here, there's a mechanical timer setting your spawn point and a bunch of different effects so that you don't die. So the first thing you need to do is take this spawn point block right here and delete it. And then you're going to need to get a redstone torch, a hopper, redstone repeater, redstone comparator, some bedrock, and I believe that's it. Maybe a red piece of redstone to chunk in the hoppers. Command block. But in the middle of these three that are left of this circuit, you need to redstone repeater. Put a redstone repeater there. And we're going to test for a player in a certain area. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing how to do one spawn point, because it's a little intense. But this block right here, block 10, is, I don't know why it's, there we go, block 10. This is the one that we're going to be setting our spawn points to. Now, as you can tell, he's already maxed out the amount of things you can put on here without putting blocks on the sides, which kind of defeats the purpose of one block jumping. But what we're going to have to do is set a checker. So whenever somebody's on this block, it will check for this area of whenever somebody jumps, it will set their spawn point. So whenever you die, you'll respawn right here instead of all the way back at 1. Now, obviously, you could set this to block 100, block 200, whichever, so that when you died on that block, you'd respawn on 200, 300, whichever you choose. But, like I said, it's a little bit more difficult than I thought it would originally be, because there's a spawn point command that on the second end of it says you can set player X, Y, and Z. Well, I figured that meant you could go spawn point at player X, Y, Z, and then the radius, and then X, Y, and Z. I don't know if it's a glitch, a bug, whatever, but it will not let you do this. It absolutely refuses to let you do this. I think it's because it doesn't allow multiple parameters of numbers past a certain point, but who knows? That's why it needs to be so complicated. But we'll start this off with a test4 command. Just at player at the block coordinates. And since we're doing block 10, it'll be, I believe, 43, 62, 11, and 1. Now, whenever this is activated, it's going to test, see if there's somebody on that block. And a redstone comparator coming out the side will tell you if it's true or not. Well, since no one's on the block, it's not turned on. Right here, we're going to have to put a piece of bedrock and a redstone torch so you can invert the signal. And right next to it, you're going to have to put a command block that tells people to jump. You go at player, and their coordinates 43, 62, 11, and 1. Whoops. And you also need to tell them to jump up. The next step is to create a mechanical timer that will only be timing when somebody is on that block. And since I can get a, oops, can't chunk it in that one. Oh, that's embarrassing. There we go. Now that we've got timer, it's going to halt because it's getting a redstone signal on this side, so it's not going to be clicking back and forth. You put a redstone comparator on the end of that, and you set somebody's spawn point. In this case, we're going to be putting the spawn point 2 blocks above their head, so when they jump, or 1 block above their head, so when they jump, it will grab them and put in a checkpoint. At player, once again, the coordinates of the block. With a radius of 1, and I accidentally messed it up there, but 2 blocks above the base block. And the last thing you have to do is put a redstone comparator on the end of that, so that if it outputs true and it successfully puts somebody's spawn point, then it will tell them that they've done it correctly. Let's see if I can remember these coordinates for the 5th time. And there we go. Now, if all goes well, that should be a correct circuit. Now, if I cheat and go to the 9th block real quick. Whoops. Whenever I get on this block, it tells me to jump up for spawn point, and if I jump, it tells me my spawn point was set. So now if I kill myself, I'm right here. Another issue that you can have is if you don't have your spawn point 2 blocks above you, when you jump, it sets your spawn point in the air, as you can see right there. Now, if you don't jump, your spawn point is within this block. You are within the pressure plate, which means you're going to go back to being spawned on this surface because you have no home bed, and then you're going to automatically be spawned to this surface. So if you have any glitches or troubleshoots, just send me a comment. I'll let you know. I'll help you out. And if there's any specific spawn points or checkpoints you want me to make and turn this map into a downloadable, just put comments below, let me know, and I'll do it. Thanks for watching.